Christopher Titus, and this is Armageddon Upright. Billionaires, bad luck and bubbles. Today, we're talking about how just because you can doesn't mean you should. A British billionaire and a rich Indian businessman decided they wanted to go see the Titanic wreckage because what makes more sense than going to see a said-to-be unsinkable ship with the highest tech available in the world at the time? That ship sank and killed 1,500. Why don't we go see that in another ship run by a PlayStation controller?
We run the whole thing with this game controller.
Come on! And just because you can afford $250,000 to take a little submarine ride doesn't mean you should! I wonder if they pass some homeless people in the limo on the way to the submarine. Oh, I would like to help you with a sandwich, but I've spent all my money on a submarine, John. And I also am going to take my son to see the graveyard of Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't have any extra money. I mean, is anyone surprised this went like this? You went to look at a sunken ship in a tube that sinks? What could possibly happen? Maybe dying in the sunken ship that you took to see the sunken ship. Whew. We here at The Update did some research. It turns out that in 2018, a former employee or a guy who got fired for asking questions of OceanGate Expedition, a submersible pilot named David Lockridge, voiced concerns or said, "What the fuck?" about the safety of the Titanic tour sub and filed a lawsuit against the company. And Lockridge, who was fired by the company, said in a court filing that the Titan would carry passengers as deep as 4,000 meters, even though that depth had never been reached in a sub of its type with a carbon fiber hull, which is fiberglass. According to Lockridge's claim, he learned that the vessel was built to withstand a certified pressure of 1,300 meters. So no problem, right? Yeah, let's risk it. Except for the fact that the Titanic is at the bottom of the Atlantic at 12,500 feet or 3,800 meters. OceanGate planned to take passengers to 4,000 meters. Now, I'm not a math whiz or even a math moron, but I know that 1,300 isn't 3,800. And 3,800 minus 1,300 equals dead billionaires.
Tell me this isn't the world's best I told you so.
Now, as of this update, we don't know if they are still alive, and we secretly hope they survive, honestly, just so we can mock the shit out of them. And thoughts and prayers. And that's all I've got, thoughts and prayers, because I am not getting in the water like these morons. Because I'm not rich enough to be this stupid. When are we going to realize that you can be brilliant, but at one point there is a level of money that actually makes you an ignorant, arrogant asshole? And I understand human nature and how we need to keep striving to go further, explore, create, discover. Going to Mars makes sense. Building a base on the moon. Okay. Pulling the quad backflip. Important stuff. If we don't push forward, we will go extinct or end up anal probe experience for aliens. So, I get furthering humanity.
To dive here, they could come from a nightmare.
But I don't get putting hundreds of first responders' lives in danger or spending millions of dollars trying to rescue some unqualified, rich douchebags who agreed to ride in an untested, janky-ass tube steered by the same device used to play Mario Kart. You get that 5 people spent millions to go to the bottom of the ocean to look out a tiny window at a wreck and go, "Oh, idiots. You could have just rented the movie. You could have seen the whole ship and Kate Winslet's boobs." I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Doesn't that sound better? A fiberglass tube or Kate Winslet's boobs. It makes so much sense.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip.
Hey everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. Hello, guess where you're not? Under the ocean in a sub that is either crushed or lost. With me as always, the lovely bombshell Ray.
What's up?
And the Highlander.
There could be only one.
There can be only one. It's weird. Sometimes I'm always looking to write a non-political Armageddon update. I really am.
Yeah.
And I hate it when it has to be about a disaster or I've seen people dying. And then as I was writing the Armageddon update, I was thinking, wait, these guys are not qualified to do this. No one, I mean, this is astronaut level shit going down.
Yeah, they are. They're billionaires with nothing to do.
Right.
With an attitude.
Yeah, free time doesn't mean you're
And
qualified.
penis rocket was already taken. So
That's another thing too. So for me, there's a thing in life where you remember like Chuck Yeager. We had guys that were not billionaires. They were just trying to push humanity. They were trying to see how far we could go.
And trained for years.
You buzz all
and went through all kinds of testing and all.
Exactly.
And had teams of support.
Got up every day at 4 a.m. trained.
Mm-hmm.
Went to school. Like did math for God's sakes.
I'm looking up Chuck Yeager.
And so you know.
And these motherfuckers just whip open like a 3-page
so
waiver.
I'd like to go to the bottom of the ocean to see the Titanic.
You do call it the Titanic.
The Titanic.
He broke the sound barrier in 1947. No wonder I don't know who that is.
Have you ever seen the movie The Right Stuff?
No.
Oh.
After cracking several ribs in a horseback riding accident.
Yeah, he still got in the plane.
And it's above ground. Okay, so
that's an American. Yeah, it's
not underwater. Keep going.
Yeah.
But he only had a high school education, so he was not eligible to become an astronaut like the people he ended up training.
Right. Exactly. That was part of that was the whole problem with the Right Stuff movie. That was one of the dramatic turns in the movie.
Oh, it's in the movie?
We know more about space than we know about the ocean.
Exactly. It's more difficult to explore deep sea than it is the fucking moon and
right.
Saturn.
I do want to say something about this though. The problem is we record on Wednesday. And they, as of today, had less than 18 hours of oxygen.
So let me be clear about that.
So when this comes out,
I am not mocking. I don't think they should die.
Might be more somber.
I'm not somber. I'm like at one point you go. It's like if Chuck Yeager breaking the sound barrier, his plane had folded up. That guy knew what he was doing. These guys, the ignorance and the arrogant ignorance that it takes to actually just write a check to get in an untested tube. An untested tube made out of carbon fiber. It's not even metal, by the way. That's fiberglass. It's just heavy duty fiberglass.
That's operated by
it's a
not
controller.
kidding.
It's
for real.
It's it's not even a PlayStation actual controller. It's this one you can buy that work.
Yes,
Logitech. It actually works. And the guy proudly says it on the video. He goes, "We use the Logitech." You mean the thing
from
I can get
fucking
it?
90s?
Yeah, but I can get it from fucking Best Buy.
Yeah.
I can go to Best Buy.
The news today was like, we're going to go to some officials who are trained to work on this level of equipment. Tim, he's a carny in Florida. Tim, can you tell us more about this?
I got a soldering guy right here.
By the way, I don't know this Logitech controller. My boy, though, plays Mario Kart constantly. My son?
Well, Daddy, I believe that sometimes them fail and you got to unplug it and plug it back in.
Okay. Okay, Tim. Thank you for that.
So I don't listen. We are getting laughs off of it. I'm kind of angry because there's a couple hundred or more rescue workers right now that are combing the fucking North Atlantic for these billionaires who aren't qualified, who they know can't save themselves.
You know what's not on that submersible? Women. Not one woman. Nope.
Hey, look at me, shit.
babe, you're on the ship with us. You know the whole family. Let's take the whole family.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I got some oil of Olay tanning lotion, and I'm gonna go.
I wasn't gonna say women were just oil of Olay tanning.
No, they're smart enough to not get in the submarine.
They're being the vice president of the country or running their companies taking care of their homes.
You've got to let this go.
Oh, do I?
Because the whole family. We were talking on the way over. The whole family's on the boat. The whole family.
We're not sure. They won't say.
But they won't say. So, if you and I are on a ship, which you're never getting on a ship, by the way. But if you were, and I go, babe, I'm going to go 12,000 feet under the ocean, and you'd be like, no, I'm going to lay out and read a book.
Of course you are. Go ahead, Titus.
I'm not going.
Nope. I wouldn't even be. I'd say you shouldn't do that. You have a family to consider. You can't be that dumb.
Can I say something?
You're working on the wagon over there. It's watertight. It's watertight. Let's go, Highlander. We're going.
What's the safety rating? What is they were asking, so the ship that drives them around that they're on for a week that then they launch off of, the head people of that did a press conference today, and they're very upset, obviously, because they know these people, they hang out with them, and they said, so what is your safety protocol? This was after they talked to Tim the Carney.
They just went blank.
And he goes, so he goes, at an hour and a half, we lost radio contact with them. So we called local authorities, and she goes, okay, I got it. But John, what are the safety protocols in place? And he goes, well, when we lose contact, we call the authorities. It was the same thing. And she goes, okay, anything else? And he goes, no, we call the authorities.
That's just a call, not protocol.
That's not even. Good. By the way, very nice. Very nice. Can I say this? every system for space or anything really dangerous has backup system after backup system.
Redundant.
And they go,
yes.
we called 911. They were like, what happens if you lose control of the thing 8,000 feet under the... You call 911.
You know, the people that ride in cars on the road and arrest people, we call them. They just now today are waiting for this Canadian craft that can actually dive 2.5 miles because they believe this thing is on the floor of the sea.
There's only like 3 different
in the whole world
that can do it.
And it's just
and this one
now
obviously can't.
It's just now headed that way. They had at that time 16 hours of oxygen left.
Didn't James Cameron already do this?
Yes, that's the whole thing.
What are you doing?
That's why I said then you can watch the movie, and as I said in the army, and see Kate Winslet's boobs.
Yeah, the fucking window on that thing is like, it's going to be a dirty, fogged up,
But can imagine
it's going to be covered in blood from the CEO guy's head. Yeah. I swear they've been hearing banging noises. I told him, I said, that's the sound of his head banging off the side of the wall.
Why did you take us down? What do you mean you called 911? He's banging his head. But so in the Atlantic, I was just trying to figure out how this happens, and having no protocols is because there's no there's no laws for this. You can just go out in the middle of the ocean and there's no rules.
Yeah, but doesn't the Navy have?
There are a lot of.
Yeah.
No, not if you're going. Whose jurisdiction is to actually make sure the submarine is up to standards?
Aquaman's.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And he was like, y'all, nah.
Fuck these guys.
Well, there's a lot of Marine teams in all the different law enforcement agencies. My brother is Homeland Security, and he was on their Marine interdiction program for a while.
I mean, I do understand.
Would it be Coast Guard? Wouldn't there be some?
Well, how far off the
SEALs.
coast is it? Because it's only 20 miles. They're way the hell out there. So, or 20 or 30 miles, whatever the jurisdiction is. There's no jurisdiction where they're at. So,
just to make
a bunch of dicks. Yeah,
no,
they put the dicks in jurisdiction. Ladies and gentlemen, good night. So what seems to me is that. So here's what I found out, and here's why it made me mad. I got up this morning and was writing about writing the Armageddon update as I always do, because I always wait till the last day, try to get it done so we're close. We're always a couple days out, and it was so easy to Google this company who'd been sued by a former employee because that employee went, "Hey guys, you say we're going to 4,000 meters. We've only tested this thing to 1,300. And they were like, yeah, you're fired. What? Oh. So it's made out of carbon fiber. It's the only submarine not made out of thick metal. Mm-hmm. Which is carbon fiber,
because it's cheaper. Is that why?
I don't know. It's very strong, but it's fiberglass. At one point, I mean, like metal doesn't crack.
This is very modern CEO behavior. Like this is peak. This is like Starbucks CEO. This is union busting. This is these piece of shits. Yeah, they have an arrogant attitude.
Excuse me, pieces of shit.
Piece of shits. What was
that? It's piece of shits.
That was like attorney generals. Piece of shits. What just happened?
But keep being smart. Go ahead.
But keep giving your opinion on we have a podcast.
We have a podcast.
Piece of shits.
Sorry, even I couldn't let it go because she would never. If I'd have said it at the house, dude, here's what happened. I would have said it. She just repeated it back
for the next 30 years,
and then for the next 10 years, she would have been going, "Yeah, those guys are piece of shits."
I can't.
I'm still going with it. That sounds.
But you're right.
Perfect.
I can't find any laws that would govern it other than after the Titanic, as you say, that ships had to carry enough lifeboats for everyone on any ship. Lifeboat drills and inspections to divert another mass boat sinking accident.
Like a worldwide law, right?
That's but
So my question is, he makes a good point though. So there's 5 people in that thing. 4 of them, one of the guys owns a company. So there's 4 guys in there. So for $1 million, he took 4 rich guys to the bottom of the ocean.
Dow Chemical. Who are these fucking assholes?
Exactly.
Who are these piece of shits? Okay.
Monsanto. This is Monsanto.
The missing Titanic sub fell outside of safety rules by operating in international waters beyond the law.
That's what I thought. I knew it. So basically,
this lawsuit's going to be gnarly.
So this guy, there's no law covering it. There's no lawsuit. They signed a waiver. They said the waiver that these guys have to sign lists how many different ways you can die.
Attempted murder.
No. He lists how many. It's just on the list. Attempted murder. It says on the.
That's how it got away with it, just by going to international waters.
So they have a submarine that's not up to any standard. They said that the window is only good to 1,300 feet. In an hour and a half, they were already at 1,300 meters. Sorry, at an hour and a half in, they were down at almost 3,000 meters. And the dude that got fired, said this. He was like, "You guys, this is," and he was a whistleblower. He came out and said this. And they have a lawsuit against him now for talking. As she said this morning, she goes, "Oh, let's see how far that lawsuit goes."
Like, this window is going to crack like on impact.
Yeah.
So
Coast Guard laws and rules don't apply in international waters. So they actually just went far enough out intentionally to get around those laws.
Oh, wow.
But now they need the Coast Guard to find them and help them.
But now they called everybody. So I'm angry because now you got these blue collar guys, these blue collar badasses who are supposed to save people. And by the way, the only people you say that it's not their fault are people that get lost in a storm. And even then it's their fault because they don't have the equipment to see the storm coming. Like, if I was a Marine rescue dude, I would just be mad all the time. Because try to think of how many different ways you have to be stupid to get lost in the ocean. Now, rogue wave, that's one thing.
A lot of people falling off of cruise ships.
Cruise ships, but also people going out in weather. Well, I mean, the weather's going to be fine.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
How about this?
Drunk.
Recently, shark attacks. People are wading in these waters that somebody was eaten by a shark the day before. They're like, we got to close it for 24 hours. 24 hours?
I'm on vacation. It's June, asshole. COVID's over.
Right.
Fuck those sharks.
I don't wear a mask.
They heard banging. Like we said, 30-minute intervals. They heard banging from the general area where the sub disappeared. They're not sure what the banging is.
That's crushing.
I really want to know
Crinkle.
how people poop.
She keeps saying that.
It's making me crazy.
It just goes into a bucket.
If you look at them, this is another reason why no woman was on this tube. If they either told you had to hold it for 3.5 hours, not possible. Or if you have to use this bucket, also not possible.
You're not going in front of these dudes.
So if you look at it, you can't even stand up in it. It's like they sit on bench seats like this. So
no, they're sitting on the floor. Really, there's a thing. There's a bench, and you can put the video on it here. This is what it's not. It's not like if I'm paying $250,000 to go on a 4-hour tour.
Yeah,
there better be a
gold.
Suite.
Yeah, better be Trump. Have Trump written on it.
There should be like a nap area.
Wasn't there another 4-hour tour? Yeah. Wasn't there? What is it?
That, by the way, if you don't think we're using that in the Armageddon update, you're mistaken.
First of all, they didn't need that toilet. When did they go missing? Hour and a half? Everyone pants shitting everywhere. It's full of shit.
Not only are they dying, but they're dying in
their own. It's full of shits.
Well,
yeah.
Full of
You're full of shits.
Yeah, shits.
That's what I mean.
They're indivial formations of shit.
Donald Trump is full of shits, which is probably...
See? You'll never hear the end of it now. 3 podcasts from now, that guy's a piece of shits. It'll never... No, I live with this.
Sir,
dude, there's shit that happened in 2007 that she still brings up in the middle of the conversation.
Yeah, like Ellen Page. That was 2007.
Will never go away.
Yeah. Or Elliot, sorry.
That's nothing to be... She was pretty.
Before she was a dude.
She was pretty.
Of all the women on the planet, who is your hall pass?
Oh, man.
Would that be Ellen Page? That's why everyone burst out laughing.
That's a valid point. I wish you hadn't put it in that context. I had an ally for a second, and now it's gone.
It's gone forever.
That's why all the women burst out laughing, because you had been through a bad relationship.
Can I also be honest?
And your bar was low.
No. Can I also be honest? As a man, when a bunch of women, especially your current girl is with you, and they're asking who's your hall pass, here's what you can't do.
Oh, you got to go down.
You have to go way down, because what'll happen is it will haunt you for the rest of your life.
But like now.
But if you squint your eyes.
But I'm the opposite. I'm not
my
insecure.
Hall pass, since I've already got Elliot Page, Ryan Reynolds, my hall pass. That's my hall pass. I know. Do what you will.
Can you see
will,
those
Ryan.
in the background?
Yeah.
Do what you will, Ryan.
We're going to get Idris Elba to guest on this podcast.
There you go. She said it. Put it out there. Manifest it.
If you
we're going to get Ryan Reynolds who's going to come on too. just so he can tell me no, just so he can just say no, and I'll be like, "Bah, dude."
We were one step removed with the head of BBC guy in Scotland that night, but we've gotten closer and we're coming in. We're inching in on him.
I think the biggest problem with this thing right now is we have now got to a place, and you see it every day on the road. I saw it coming to work today. Everybody is safe. We live in a world that nobody thinks anything's going to happen to them. Well,
except for gays. And
you're right. Gays and trans, right. Gays, trans, and black people.
Yes.
Right.
Women,
They're scared.
Women lost their rights too.
Immigrants. They just
immigrants.
Get shipped
brown
somewhere.
people.
White men think that they are safe.
CEOs and high profile political elites.
So I think we just nailed down. It seems like white men nothing can happen to them, especially rich white men. Nothing can happen to them. I'm coming down, the back way out of the house, that windy road that goes through that's 2 lanes.
Yes.
There's 2 guys unloading a truck. Whatever they're unloading, it is in a box about 12 feet long. And they just don't even look at me. I'm coming down the road 40 miles an hour. And they just drag this box out of the pickup truck and they're in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
They didn't even look at me. People fling their doors open.
Yeah,
you're in
that
traffic.
Makes me crazy.
People on the parking just fling their door open. Don't even look behind them. And I think to myself, why aren't these people dead? Because we live in a society right now that every car is safe. Every car has
so many guardrails.
Right. There's a point where we should cut back on the guardrails. Yeah. Like, we don't need a vaccine, or we don't need a pandemic. Because we already have a pandemic of stupid. So why don't we just have the government go, we're going to kill, no regulations for 3 years.
You know what? Seatbelts. We can just bypass
self-preservation would kick in, and the people, we would all survive. Because we're thinking, I know someone's going to run into me. I know I'm going to
especially with all the electric cars now. Like,
you got to have grace for people, though. Sometimes people are going through a lot.
Oh, I feel something. Something's coming.
No, I'm just saying in general, I remember driving around after I lost my mom and during that last month of pure unadulterated horror movie hell, I remember sitting at green lights and just being like, or just stopping walking in the middle of like a lot of people in a mall or something and not realizing, like, just so out of my mind. And I also very clearly remember the moments of grace that people showed me and kindness, because they could have been mean and laid on their horn or been whatever.
But I agree with you.
I'm just saying, like,
I agree with
I'm the nice counterbalance.
But here's the thing. Human beings, we were talking about on the other podcast, we're talking about how there's an extra thing in human beings, a consciousness that we have. I'm aware of those people. When you see someone distraught, if I look at someone doing something stupid and I look at the woman and she's crying or she's you can just tell she's distraught. I'm like, oh, something's going on with her. The person that pulls
and then you
up,
honk at her and say, get the fuck out of the way,
I don't
lady.
say that. I'm in my car. She can't hear me.
Hope you feel better.
So someone who pulls up next to a Menchie's in a red zone, flings their door open without looking and runs in to get frozen yogurt. Yeah. That person's an asshole. So I'm just saying that.
Frozen yogurt, though.
I don't get that. I don't get that.
Yeah.
Park.
He's very distraught.
There's no parking spaces. I need yogurt.
Here's the thing. Between, it's 13 miles between our house and here. It's stunning to me.
Yeah.
The level of how many times someone doesn't go, someone cuts over a lane, someone stops, and everybody just thinks it's okay. Does a U-turn across 3 lanes in front of you, and you're like, listen, what just happened?
Dude, I live right near UCLA.
Oh, no.
Dude. But Wyatt and I, after I pick him up, we have this saying, we're like, okay, we're about to enter the gauntlet. We call this like street. And it's like, what level? Is it DEFCON 5? Or is it like, if there's just fucking, they're just walking and there's people opening their doors and there's cars with their flashes on just sitting there.
There's a lot of, because you have a college near you. It's I'm so glad because you guys have never bitched about traffic ever on
Not
this
just traffic.
podcast
I'm not,
and people being dumb.
Here's the weird dichotomy in America. So besides us being so safe, people think they can do anything they want. We have this other faction of people. The same guy that will fling his door open in traffic is also the guy that has to have a gun on his hip all the time because he's afraid he might get it's like something, I'm going to get attacked by black gay people. So human beings are just so bizarre. I wish we need a tune-up as a species. So I want the aliens to come down and go, guys, here's 10 rules. We call them the commandments the first time. You kind of messed it up. And you're still messing it up. You're not following them, but we're going to give you the new ones in the new language. Here's the 10. Follow these. You got 2 weeks.
Yeah, but what if someone else makes those up, not you, and you're one of the people that's extricated?
Listen, the way humanity is right now, if I'm so inept that I can't notice I'm part of the problem, And if I see on the other side of me getting taken out with the rest of the idiots that humanity is going to rise up to another level, I'm okay with it.
No, you're not.
No, I've got 10 comedy specials. I'm
all
good.
All right, let's get off this topic. Holy crap. The noises were happening. They said that they were man-made to the untrained ear, but also as of about an hour ago, the Independent is reporting that the guy from Oceanographic Systems Laboratory said that there was some type of stuff floating on the surface. It's too early to determine if it's debris.
So it is now chum.
And there's a lot of garbage in the ocean, he said. But they said in a...
Well, this guy sounds like... Is Trump run this company?
Said that rescuers just in the last hour spotted mystery objects on the ocean's surface.
There's some mystery objects. There's some top secret documents in the mystery objects. I had to get my mystery objects out before we could look up. So this guy. By the way, the head of the company was in the sub. He was running it.
Yeah.
So he's gone. We found some stuff floating.
Oh, Trump's getting the ideas for the excuses.
I am so sad if that happened. I also, you said it perfectly. You said it. Her point was, so you're going to go see the ship that went down that was unsinkable and everybody died in a little tube. What do you think could happen?
Much less.
You're actually going to see the example
seafaring than the Titanic was. Much less R&D.
Yep.
Much less safety protocol.
Where everyone
than
around
the thing you're going to see that sunk. And tell me again, Bob, how you operate the submersible while we're
remote control from the PlayStation.
We got the new PS5.
Wait, it's made by Tesla, right?
Final Fantasy.
And we have radio contact backup with the surface.
No, we lose contact about an hour and a half in. Always.
But then if something happens, how will we be able
to
just
text message
911. We call 911.
But we can't call 911, Bob. So,
supposedly,
do you have a backup for the Logitech remote?
For the remote
that
control?
Broke all through the 90s. That's why we had to keep replacing them.
We left a wrench in it to bang on the walls, except they're made out of carbon fiber, so they don't really ring that much. It's more of a thunk.
We have one toilet, and it also is an escape tunnel
it's not
that
a toilet,
we go through.
It's a Ziploc bag.
Bob, if we escape and we're that deep under the ocean, we would die if we left the ship.
Well, we'll be at the Titanic, so we'll go into the lobby.
There you go. He can go to the ship.
We'll just
take a tour.
The band will be playing.
I think the ballroom is empty now. So yes,
there's room. There's beds. We'll take a nap. Give us time for all the help.
Do you have anything that would be similar to a parachute? Some sort of suit that I could put on that you could pressurize that then if I needed to.
Well, here's what I did. I put Bubblicious in there, so if you chew it and then make a bubble, it'll float you.
Yes.
And it'll pop your eardrums.
Pop your ears on the way. Okay. It's a 2-for-1.
Hold on. But we are tethered at all times to the larger ship.
Not in the least. It's just kind of random and we pray to God. Well, first of all, we built a submarine out of it's an old septic tank, carbon fiber, because it was we capped it.
Okay.
And then we put it down. So it always smells like poop.
So here's what I'm going to do,
So no one
Bob.
notices if you poop.
I'm going to send my husband.
Exactly.
I'll be on
by the way, my billionaire husband.
Lido deck.
My billionaire husband, he's going.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
She's checking all the insurance policies. Like,
hey, babe, happy birthday. I got you a gift. I'll be playing shuffleboard on the Lido. See you soon.
For the next 3 decades.
I'm not, I want people to know I'm not enjoying people dying. I'm really not.
By the time this comes out, very well, we probably.
No,
they're saying by Thursday afternoon, no more oxygen.
Oh, they died yesterday.
No, they can't get a hold of them. The banging.
They heard noises though.
Shark teeth.
It's the ocean. It's the ocean.
Rachel Bradley does not endorse all things said on this podcast.
May I say
they're trying to talk to the whales.
There's certain things in life. It's like with these X Games athletes. I love what they can do. And there's great ones. Tony Hawk, Travis Pastrana. There's guys that are just amazing.
Travis Pastrana.
Did I do it again?
Not Trevor Piranha.
Oh. By the way, good name, by the way. Trevor Piranha.
That's a wrestler.
Trevor Piranha.
Travis Pastrana.
Travis, I do it again.
does things.
I got, I'm nervous because I realize we're laughing at
we're
these
not
guys
laughing
dying.
at it.
I'm not laughing at them dying. I'm laughing at what did they think was going to happen. So Travis Pastrana, Tony Hawk has hurt himself so many times. Travis Pastrana at one point got hurt so bad he was lying in a bed in, I think it's in Germany with his, and they didn't know, the doctor didn't know his lower spine was separated from his pelvis, and he was like, I can't move, and then a doctor took an X-ray and was like, oh shit, and they flew a guy to fix him. The
stuff that he did on Nitro Circus, even even the stuff he does for his job, we were like, oh no. We watched it he's
but here's what I'm saying is that if you don't, those guys know that what, like the pulling this is going to be woo, but not pulling this, I'm going to be in the hospital for 2 months.
But they also have medical support on site, ready to go. They
the media loves this too, because they know how it's going to end. Most likely, either way, it's going to be big headlines. But you think about, so I just remembered Nitro Circus. We loved that show. Yep. We also, before that, used to watch Scarred. Do you remember Scarred?
No.
Oh, man.
It was basically everything going wrong for these athletes. And these athletes knew what could happen. And that when you can be a billionaire.
Well, my point I was going to make.
You didn't let me finish my point, though.
No,
you didn't know. You let me finish my point. My point was this. You have to be educated enough to know what could go wrong. And these guys just thought that this rich guy who's like, no, I got a sub. It'll be great. And they were like, fuck it, $250,000. Let's go. And they did it. And now everyone's upset. I'm like, we have an entire.
Well, they signed all that stuff.
I know, but
too.
you know why NASA doesn't go to the ocean all the time? Because space is fucking easier. There's shit we need to know about space. James Cameron had to make $2 billion on the movie Titanic to go find the Titanic. So, and these idiots are going, yeah, man, 250, yeah, sure. It's not a go-kart track. You're gonna die, dude. There's a high probability you're gonna die.
Wait, how did they find the Titanic?
After. I think, I don't know, he did research before, did the movie.
Built that massive
then he used some of the money. In Mexico, they built basically a model of it, a giant-ass model of it. And then, if you guys can I'm sure you'll correct
me. There's a bunch of
Dennis's
commenting.
Yeah, right.
Who have the internet.
By the way,
let me Google it
first. You all was located about 3 years after the Titanic movie came out. James Cameron hosted an expedition where he took the best scientists on the planet and they actually located the ship Titanic. Mr. Titus, please do a little more research before you actually post anything. Thank you.
They tracked jewelry, didn't they? Track a beautiful blue
gigantic
diamond. That's how they found it.
Movie. They discovered it in 1985, so that would have been before the movie.
Right.
A team of French and American researchers discovered the wreckage site.
It was like
they started in the 50s.
But didn't James Cameron do a whole big thing after it to go find it?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. They've mapped it recently. There's a 3D map of it. You can actually put goggles on, put like VR goggles on, and look at the entire.
We have that now.
Yeah, and you can walk around it. You can walk around it. You don't have to get in it. Okay, can you see it? I can see it. Can you see it? And what if a whale farts and dust blew up and you can't see it? Whale farted. I can't.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So why don't you just put the VR glasses on?
Oh. It had already been found, but in 1995, before he had even written the Titanic, he visited the wreck to film it for the movie. Cameron captured the footage by going underwater in Russian-owned submersible vessels. So he didn't even ask this guy. He called Russia, was like, hey guys.
We didn't have anything that would go that.
So some of that footage in that movie is the footage he took. Yeah. Wow, that's cool. He went 33 times. On one of them, he was trapped for 16 hours.
Oh, no.
The Russians get ahead sometimes on technology because they just throw human beings into it. They don't
exactly.
Give a shit.
Yeah.
You're going in right now.
They throw bodies in until they stop dying. Yeah, exactly. Hey, this worked.
What, you fixed it?
This worked. Because Ivan came back.
The currents are so strong down there. James Cameron had been down 33 times, but this particular time, a current of water trapped them against the stern of the Titanic. So that ship actually could be holding the submersible, which is what happened to him. He was there for 16 hours until the water was diverted because they couldn't get out.
Water diverted itself.
He warned that the most dangerous part of the descent was getting stuck or caught on anything that might be down there, including the Titanic itself.
He already had more concern before going
right.
out.
James Cameron, the most successful director in the world, was like, yeah, man, this is scary.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
he made Terminator.
He made
this is scary.
Right.
This is an old article, but he was quoted as saying, talking about getting stuck on things that might be down there, including the Titanic. He goes, you do that, you say goodbye. There's no way anyone is going to come down there and rescue you. It's 3,800 meters. There's no other submarine in the world that could go down to rescue you. And if there is, it's far enough away for you to die first.
So you could have Googled. You could have just, since maybe his wife did. No, you can go. She's like, oh, shit.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Where's our trust?
Yeah, exactly.
I found
Happy
it.
birthday. I need the
See you
passwords.
later.
Happy birthday.
Look into your phone real fast so I can open it. This episode brought to you by AG1. Use it every day.
AG1's awesome.
I use it every day now. Started using it for gut health. Don't have that problem anymore. Now I use it for energy almost always. Overall sense of well-being. Like, I don't know, you feel better. You're doing something healthy for your body. I always make sure I've had it before I go work out. Mm-hmm. Always. And especially if I'm going to do a long Peloton ride, I go and do a scoop of this with some of Tony's energy stuff. It does. It has over 75 vitamins, minerals, whole food source, superfoods. Does it make you calm? What do you think?
I just think, like you said, I don't know if I'm calling calm a sense of well-being, but I do know about 45 minutes after I have it, I kind of feel like this. Like my body's okay.
All of your cells were like, thank God.
Yeah, they're like,
gave us
no more red wine.
Yeah, exactly.
I do always, I feel like before, when I was taking a whole bunch of different vitamins, and I actually pulled this out the other day and looked at what's in it and looked at my vitamins and realized how many things I was taking that I don't need to take anymore. Like zinc, I was taking every night, but I was taking so many things, I would try and space them out throughout the day. And you don't have to do that. This actually replaces your multivitamin, probiotic, and more all in one drink.
When we first started, when they sent us this stuff, when we first started working with them, and I read the back, I was like, oh, how much easier is this than actually taking a vitamin that's encased in whatever makes my pee bright orange. And so
you don't pee orange with this.
Not at all. No. And it tastes good.
So I'm always looking for life upgrades, and I'm very
there you go. That's a good it's a life upgrade.
It is, and a health upgrade. And I read labels very carefully, especially since when I started training fitness back then, that made me start to read everything, because I really learned how much crap is hidden in even spices that you don't expect have sugar and stuff.
Fillers.
This kind of covers all of your nutritional bases. I get it delivered every month, so you don't have to leave your house. So it's super easy to make it a habit. They also have travel packs that we use on the road. Super awesome. So if you want to take ownership of your health, try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D, comes in a dropper bottle, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/Titus. That's drinkag1.com/Titus. Check it out. I promise you're going to love it. It makes a big, big difference.
Do you have any updates on what's going on? Have they found these guys yet?
No.
By the way, stuff floating. Again, did he call 911 on that? Hey guys, there's some stuff floating.
It's going to eventually find it.
What did you think was going to happen? It's honestly one of the most dangerous possible things. Just the ship that James Cameron was on when he did it. I remember seeing the documentary of it, and they were doing sonar, and they were fine. And it's almost like, just because now that we know exactly where the ship is, they've geo synced it. They know exactly how to park and go down. Doesn't mean you should.
But what was the objective? They weren't going to accomplish any new thing.
Ooh,
I think it's
like, or they could say we went down there with in a fucking old refrigerator.
Yeah, and as I said, in the Armageddon update, they were pulling into the dock, there was some homeless guy going, "You got $20?" Nah, sorry.
Yeah, $250,000 each.
But I get that it's cool, and it's, people like doing things that are kind of scary, right? Like.
Well, one guy took his kid. So, and that kid was like, Dad, okay. We got to work. You're
No.
my son, and I love you more than anything. Come on, go. Let's go see the
This
Titanic.
is one of my.
It'll be a life-changing
I've
experience.
been praying for these people because this is like one of my worst nightmares, because you have to think about down there, they're in a vacuum. Time is stopped. There's no sound. They know their air's running out. Up here, there's a lot of activity. We're looking for them. They don't even know really if we are looking for them or if we're looking in the right place. They're just in this dead quiet tube, stuck on something.
Imagine that. Thinking, just sitting here by yourself and with no sound. It'd be like me doing this podcast. Like, just talking. We're just talking, and we're in a soundstage. It would be this quiet.
Yeah, but it's a little more stressful, I think.
I just can't fathom. Can you? Because listen, there's a moment. Imagine the three of us locked in a carbon fiber tube, and one of us goes, "Hey guys, is this supposed to be water in here?"
Yeah.
and then God, like everything just goes to full panic mode. And they said that there was a guy that said that even the tiniest, a pinhole, the tiniest thing would collapse it. Done. So all you have to do is Google. So how many stories in our lives have been 50 guys are lost in a submarine? There's movies. Like, and you're
with real submarines,
with people like that were billions of dollars of research and development.
This would be kind of like skydiving, though, right? Like thrill-seeking, adrenaline, getting to see a piece of history.
Yes, no.
I feel like you guys.
Yes, doing something crazy. I've skydived, but this is like.
Were you going to say skydiving?
I almost did. I
thought it too. I've skydived.
So I'm just full of shit sometimes, But this would be like letting a 4-year-old pack your parachute. It's not.
Okay. So yes, we've had a lot of people go down. People have gone, scuba diving, whatever. But no one's done exactly what they're doing. Lots of people skydive.
They're going to the
bottom.
Well, they've had
where to do it, and how to do it.
Bottom of the ocean.
Successful missions, though. I'm just saying, if you were a big-time ocean geek or a Titanic buff or something like that, this would be a chance of a lifetime.
VR goggles. Kate Winslet boobs.
You are so dumb.
No, I'm the dumb guy. I'm still alive doing a podcast. I think I'm the smart guy. Right now, I think I'm the smartest guy in this.
Speaking of being
in
very
that submarine,
smart,
I'm the smartest guy there.
Whenever this comes out, it's out Thursday, maybe audio, or Friday morning. Because the Saturday show in Nashville is sold out, but there were limited number of tickets. I need to make sure there are still some today for the Friday show. Mm-hmm. So you would want to get those and come see us in Nashville at Zany's Friday and Saturday. Can't get Saturday.
And I don't want these. I would love to see these guys come out of that submarine. I would invite them to do the podcast. Guys, please talk to us and tell us how crazy and how dumb did you feel at one point?
This would be like climbing inside of a Lomi and somebody shutting the lid. This episode brought to you by Lomi.
Dropping into the ocean.
That was
product that I love.
So let me tell my little Lomi story. So we get the Lomi.
Okay.
Lomi is what do we describe it exactly as?
Lomi, you put food waste in it, and it composts.
It's a compost
and leaves. You can choose the settings, but I always choose the nutritional dirt grow your garden byproduct.
So we had a great rain year in California, and everything was already kind of growing. We have this cherry tree, we have a peach tree, Orenthal, the orange tree, and she got the Lomi and she started making this stuff, and then she would put it around the trees. And our cherry tree, it was as if it was steroids for the trees. It was our cherry tree boomed. It was like, we went on the road for 4 days and came back, and the cherry tree was like, "Hello!"
Yeah.
It was amazing.
You kept commenting on like, "Holy, what the hell? What happened?" I was like, "I don't know. I just started putting Lomi, the nutritional soil setting. It's a slower setting, so it preserves the nutrients in it. And I'll add eggshells, which if you garden, people know eggshells and coffee is good for plants. You get nitrogen and things that plants actually need to live and grow food on, fruit or vegetables with. Wendy, our best buddy in Denver, just had a big birthday, and this is what we sent her. Was a Lomi. And this is Wendy and me. We're super geeks. Jeffrey called me. He goes, "What are you going to get her? You said you're getting her something nice." I go, "Yeah, I'm getting her a Lomi. It's a composter." And he was like, "Huh. okay, well, that's you and Wendy. Okay. And she was stoked. She was like, I'm putting it together right now. She was so excited. So it's super cool. You feel better about what you're doing for the environment because food scraps aren't taking up our garbage has shrunken significantly. It's not sitting in a landfill creating methane gas that destroys the planet.
No, it's growing our plants.
It's growing our plants, helping to grow it's insane. So highly recommend I've become a magician in the Lomi, and I create all these mixes and
you're in the cult of Lomi right now.
I am in the cult of Lomi.
Yes, you are.
You can turn your food waste into dirt with the press of a button with Lomi. Use the code Titus to save $50 at lomi.com/Titus. That's $50 off when you head to lomi.com/Titus. Use promo code Titus at checkout. Thank you so much, Lomi, for sponsoring this episode because I have had a whole new world open up.
Yep.
And it helps you make positive environmental impact.
But also, like, just garden. On top of that, the cherries that came off that tree, holy crap. They were so good. It's a grafted tree. It's got 3 kinds of cherries on it, and they were really good. Yeah. I live with Snow White. It's weird. You couldn't be more perfect.
It's magic.
Weird.
It's like
she's got problems.
Chemistry.
Man, it's a post-it note.
I'm out there like mixing like that's what my niece said this weekend. We had friends over and I made vegetable lasagna and they were like, this is so good. And it's got that basil taste. And my niece goes, basil, that's growing in her kitchen as we speak. It's a plant. But it's fun.
It is fun.
It was during Donald Trump that I decided we were going to live off the land by God, and Lomi is a part of that.
I'll do that to you.
I want to make one last point, and then I want to move on to Donald Trump. By the way, what happened this week with him? Remember when Travis Pastrana jumped out of the plane with no parachute on? He was just in his boxers and socks, and then they had he free dove, whatever for a while, and then 2 guys grabbed him. He in the midair, he put on the chute.
So you're saying contingency plan,
popped it, but here's the difference between what these guys did and what Travis did. Travis had a bunch of guys trying to help him. He did everything he could to make sure that he was going to be okay. Now, had Travis Pastrana augured in, we'd all been going, holy shit, what did you think was going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So that I think these guys are doing something far more dangerous. Because Travis had 3 guys around him that could have grabbed him.
Yeah.
And it, at worst could have done their best to stop him.
So everyone said, this is dangerous. And he listened.
And he said, we're going to do it. It's still dangerous, but we're going to do it with the right. And these guys, so he had 3 other backup systems, plus a parachute they were carrying. These guys had no backup. And they're in international waters where there's no maritime law that even covers the quality of the tube they're going in.
There's no new, but they did say more sounds have been heard. They've expanded the search, what they say exponentially. They're currently searching an area that's 2 times Connecticut.
Why? They were going towards the Titanic. Wouldn't you just keep circling that area? Or do they think that they got caught in a current and just took them?
Maybe.
Or inside a whale or something.
Well, I honestly, I know we've made a lot of jokes about this, and I know I have an attitude about it, but I will say we hope these guys are safe. We hope, please, may you find these. How come they can't zoom in on with AI? Couldn't you figure out how to zoom in on the noise? They said
like sonar.
Well, what they said was, so as I'm coming in today, I'm listening to radio. They said that the lower you get in the ocean, the more dense the water becomes, and they said the sounds ting ting ting. Mm-hmm. That sound can travel the deeper you get 100 miles. So they could be way off. Yeah, it's not. And again, you can Google all this. So my point is, if you said, hey, we're going to go do this thing to see a Titanic, I'd be like, hold on. Okay, let's see how dangerous that is. Mm-hmm. And then I would have went, we're not doing that. We're going go-kart racing like we did the last time.
First, your question would be, with the Navy? Cool.
You're right.
With someone who's
James Cameron?
Yeah.
Is James Cameron
awesome.
going?
Well,
I'll go.
So it's the CEO of the company OceanGate Expeditions, British billionaire Hamish Harding, who owns Action Aviation.
Wow, there is no more English name than Hamish Harding. Wow.
French dive expert Paul-Henri Narjolet, and prominent Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood and his son Suleiman. So That's interesting. There's a dive expert on there. He would be the guy that goes, yeah, no, we can't open the door.
Oh, he left already. He's like,
but
I'm out of here.
But he's a dive expert, but he still got in that thing.
Yeah, exactly. Not really an expert.
Like you're useless here. We can't get out of here. There's no
diving.
Well, there's no, they said the way they open it, they have to unbolt 17 bolts to get the thing out so you can get out of it.
Wait. From the outside.
There's no hatch. They have to unbolt.
There's no
door. There's no handle.
There's no door.
How did they get out?
Well, because of the pressure, they get in it. Then they bolt. They impact,
so they were just fucking welded in there.
They impact your wrench.
Holy
17
shit.
bolts holds this thing on, and so even if they get them up, let's say they get close and we get them right. They get to the surface. They've got.
Still can't get out.
They still have to get them. They still have to unbolt those 17 bolts to get them out.
If I got them up, I'd stand there in the window and watch, knowing how much oxygen they had left, and make them wait. I'd be like, dude.
little notes. Yeah, how you feel now? How was the Titanic, dickheads?
It super sucks, because imagine being in there right now.
Knowing.
It's the waiting to die that's so, and with a little bit of hope, but as each day goes on, your hope goes, but I can't.
But also, to have your son with you. Hey, Dad, how'd this work out?
Oh,
hey, let's go see the Titanic.
So scary.
Let's go see the Titanic. It'll be fun. It'll be bonding. We're gonna die together, Dad. Good job.
Your mom gave it to me for my birthday. I don't know.
Oh no. First of all, it's my stepmom, and she did what?
This episode also brought to you by Native.
Oh.
Native has this sunscreen that's out now, and I was actually going to bring it so that people could see, and I left it at home. I really love this product. I already love their deodorant.
Deodorant is the best deodorant
I already like the body lotion and I like that you can coordinate your deodorant with your body lotion, and you get this massive tube of it.
Or uncoordinated, so I smell like redwood and cotton candy.
No, I'm not into that.
And compost and cherries.
No. I love the lavender rose deodorant and the body lotion. Super awesome.
I go with charcoal.
But now they've got this deodorant, and it's this ultra sheer hydrating lightweight sunscreen, and it has SPF 30 from UVA and UVB, which we all need right now, especially on your left side when you're driving. I was always like, why do I have...
Speaking of driving, I wore it on my face.
On my left
I had
side.
it when I went golfing.
Oh, you did?
Uh-huh.
I started using mine as a makeup primer because that's just an easy way for me to remember to put on sunscreen on my face. Otherwise, I don't think about it. I'm like, I'm just going to be in my car. But then I would get melasma on this side.
Look like Two-Face from the Batman comic.
Yeah, exactly. All of Native sunscreen is made with a 20% active zinc oxide formula that's been dermatologist tested, and it's suitable for sensitive skin, which I have. It doesn't irritate my skin at all, which is also very rare. Really love this product, especially what I'm using it for.
The face lotion I use too is like when I would put sometimes my face would do a thing where it would react to it, get a little bit red, then it would go away. This stuff doesn't do it at all. I put it on, nothing.
You use the body lotion on your face.
Yeah, I get butt skin on my face.
I'm a man. So for the sunscreen, they have 3 really good, but they're very subtle. They're not overpowering scents like coconut and pineapple, rosé, peach and nectar, or unscented, which is what I have. That's what I use. And it's my favorite, and it's just clean. It doesn't irritate anything, goes on smoothly, doesn't make my makeup pill. Obviously, you don't have to wear makeup if you use this. Guys
really good companies.
Can just put it on. But for God's sakes, put it on. If you're a guy and you're not using sunscreen, do it for us.
Yeah, there's nothing tough about.
You don't need to look like Leatherface by the time you're 55.
Exactly. And I don't.
Take care of exactly. So give your skin the protection it deserves with Native's mineral sunscreens. Go to nativedeo.com/Titus or use promo code Titus at checkout. You get 20% off your first order, and it's already extremely affordable, extremely good prices, and especially for the size of stuff you get, it's crazy. So that's nativedeo.com/Titus or use promo code Titus at checkout, nativedeo.com/Titus or promo code Titus.
Good stuff. I just want you to know, we do hope that the guys make it back. We hope that the guys are in the sub get it back.
Do.
And I would tell them to their face everything I said today. What are you doing?
Yeah.
That being said, can we talk about Trump got his ass handed to him on Fox News this week? Unbelievably. I can't believe not Brian Kilmeade.
Right.
Brett Baer.
Brett Baer. Holy shit.
They clash in a heated interview is the
Do
headline.
they have any quotes in it? Because it was great, man. You see Trump at one point. Trump looks like he like you could see it go across his face. Like I've been tricked. He's on Fox News, thinking it's going to be an easy interview. It
was a 2-night interview. There was so much they had to air it 2 nights. They talk about his indictment, COVID-19 vaccination, people he's running against for the presidency. But a lot of news outlets are saying what it says the most about is his relationship with Fox News as the primary is heating up, because I thought Fox was very much
up his butt
in the other, because of the wannabe dictator headline last week about Biden. But now this week, and I'm confused because I don't watch Fox.
I explain that to you. Okay, so it's not that.
Was Bret Baier friendly to him before? Is that why he agreed to it?
Brian, everybody's kind of here and there, depending on what the polls are showing. What I think is, you got to remember, Rupert Murdoch's a very wealthy man. Rupert Murdoch is not a multi-billionaire because he's a moron.
Right.
So Rupert Murdoch will do the research, do the polling, and I think they're finding is that people are like, even the hardest core Trumpers are like, saw all those guys, the Proud Boys, go to jail. That one guy just got sentenced to 20-something years for sedition.
Yeah.
And I think they all kind of went, well, this, and Trump did nothing. I will pay for your, remember, if you go, I will pay for your legal fees. Didn't do anything.
He even didn't buy anybody's lunch at
the Cuban
Versailles last week when he said.
So I think what's happening is their internal polls are showing that people are turning against him. So they're pivoting. Yeah. So this guy went after him, and it's saying they still hate Biden. It doesn't matter. Uh-huh. They're getting rid of Trump because they know Trump can't win the re-election. Their internal polling is showing that Trump cannot win. If all the Trumpers that are still around come, he gets 32% of the vote. He cannot win.
So they do need to bring him on as take the lamb to slaughter.
They got to take they got to kill him. Yes.
Yeah. So Baier asked him if
but they still hate Biden. They aren't pro Biden. They want whoever Fox ends up backing on the right. They're still going to keep destroying Biden, but they just want to get rid of Trump because they know Trump can't win.
Baier
they hate Biden.
Oh my God.
I was waiting. I was like, is he going to do it? He is. Oh my God.
Baier asked him if he would commit to participating in the Republican presidential debates.
You're
Trump
a piece of
answered.
shit.
So Trump answered and said he had concerns about debating on Fox. So he was actually ripping Fox to Bret Baier on Fox. Baier is going to serve as the debate's co-moderator. Trump called Fox a hostile network.
Wow.
They're treating him very unfairly.
Of course.
Then Baier questioned Trump about his standing with independent voters, and Trump ripped on Fox's ratings. He's always 5 years old. At one point, Baier even interrupted Trump to call attention to the fact that the former president had said something nice about Fox. Hold on, Mr. Trump, I just want to remind, did you just praise Fox? So it was already very contentious.
Do you have some of the quotes where he went after all the people he's called names and all the people that were on his staff that he's now basically said they were losers and morons and stuff? Because there was a point, I only got to see clips of it. There's a point where Bret Baier goes, we have the best economy we've ever had in the history of America. And he goes, well, yeah, lost this many jobs. And then he goes, and the best people. And he lists like from Rex Tillerson to Bill Barr. And he goes, the best people, and he just goes down this list of, it's like 12, 14 people that were the top guys that he goes, and you called him an idiot. You called him a moron. You said he was a low intelligent, and Trump goes, yeah, sure. He goes, yeah, but 1 out of 10 of everybody I hired. I'm like, what?
It'd be great if he pulled his face off.
He listed everybody you
hired.
But
he's now saying behind the scenes, people are saying that he bragged about how good Baier's interview made him look, that it made him look tough and created buzzy, attention-grabbing television. He always just loves because people are talking about
Aikido, man. It's con man Aikido. He just rolls with it. He just rolls with it. Like, yeah, of course. Look at all the press we're getting from it. What do you think? I'm stupid? I did it on purpose.
Reframes.
Yeah.
He also, the thing about the election, Bret Baier flat out said there's no evidence that fraud
been proven.
occurred. Mm-hmm. It's been proven that it wasn't. I mean, I was stunned at some of the stuff that he said.
He said every swing state,
because it was the truth.
Every swing state that you claim, he goes, there was no fraud found enough to change the election. It would not have happened. And Trump, I watched what you just said. He goes, He goes, that may be, but it was still a shady. He just rolls. Yeah, that may be, but that's a shady election. Whatever he was taught by his father as a child, agree with them and then change the thing and just bump it, because he does it all the time. I still can't believe you said this. She went on another night the other day about the evangelical Christians still claiming him as their leader. It's like, how is it possible that you people are still thinking
it's
this
crazy.
Guy is
So Trump said, I won in 2020 by a lot. Bear, you lost the 2020 election. Trump, they were counting ballots, not the authenticity of the ballots. They were fake ballots. But I love that he just flat out said, no, you lost.
Did they have the rest of it where
2020.
Brett just keeps saying it? He keeps going, no, we went through everything. Nope. And then he goes, there's video. Because Brett, there's video of people moving boxes. And he goes, that's how they count ballots.
Yeah.
They actually
My favorite was when he said, talking about that audio recording that's evidence in the documents case, where you can hear him waving around a piece of paper and him saying these are plans for war in Iran.
He quotes this. Let's be clear. He says, these are plans for a war.
His words.
Millie wanted to do this. And he goes, I shouldn't be showing to him right now. I could have declassified him, but I can't now. And he's waving paper around.
And he's like, here's a magnifying glass. I'll read it. Let me read it to you.
But there was no document. That was a massive amount of papers and everything else talking about Iran and other things. And it may have been held up or it may not, but that was not a document. These boxes were, okay, wait,
he said it's a document, not a document?
There was no document. Mm-hmm. That was a massive amount of papers and everything else talking about Iran and other things. And it may have been held up or it may not, but that was not a document. Then he said, these boxes.
By the way, may I just say this?
What?
What? What?
These boxes were interspersed with all sorts of things. Golf shirts. These are file boxes. Pants, shoes, all sorts of things. Bear says
to Kid Rock.
Iran war plans. And Trump says, not that I know of.
Receipts from Orange makeup.
And then he says, I didn't hold it up. I held up an article. He says he held up a document.
Yes.
Then he says it wasn't a document. Then he says it may have been a document.
And I may have held it up or not held it up.
Then he says it wasn't. They were just papers. I was holding it up. He goes, they were just news articles and newspapers. There was many things. And at one point, I think Jack Smith. I don't know if Jack Smith is somewhere just celebrating, or he's like, I don't even know how to use this as testimony. Like, how do you? You said it was a document. I also said it wasn't a document.
But then he says,
what?
I may have been holding it up. I may not have been holding it up.
Yeah.
I don't.
The first one said both of them. You don't have to say the other thing.
Yeah. You know the saddest thing about it?
He says everything so he can get away
Trump
with everything.
Debacle that started in 2015 is that it has made a bunch of people that followed him look incredibly foolish, look incredibly like idiots. He continues.
Well, it's about time.
No, but
you guys could have jumped ship a long time ago, but instead you're doubling down.
You keep holding on, man. You're still holding. You know what it is. It's like when I used to go water skiing. When I was a little kid, before I knew how to water ski, I would hold on to the rope after I fell.
Yes, exactly.
And eventually I learned to let go of the rope.
Yeah.
And it was really funny for people on the boat to watch you hold on.
What? Let go! Let go! And I'd be like, and my lips were wrapped around the back of my head. And I learned to let go of the rope. And these people have not learned to let go of the rope.
It's embarrassing.
They're finding out that, they are. And he helped. I want to point out, all the people who said he was going to help about January 6th, he paid for actually zero.
He always does that, though.
That restaurant story is like the funniest, most glaring recent example of him just doing lying
if you guys
to them,
don't
to their
know,
face.
when he went to Versailles Cuban restaurant after his arraignment, he said on camera, lunch is on me for everybody. Restaurants packed. They said he left within 10 minutes and didn't leave any money or buy anything for anyone.
Not only did he not pay for the people he said in front of, I will pay for you, they didn't pay for their takeout.
Yeah.
They handed him their takeout food, and then they got in the car, in the vans, and left.
He didn't pay for his own.
No.
He didn't even pay for his own.
So
he's one of those. I'm Donald Trump. They give it to me for free. I was the head of The Apprentice. He's that guy.
Hopefully this does come out, and you can still get tickets for Nashville the 23rd. We're there the 23rd and 24th. 24th is sold out. Oxnard Levity Live, July 4th weekend. 2 shows on July 1st. 2
Saturday,
shows.
right?
Saturday night, 2 chances. If you're in the Oxnard, Ventura area, or you're not, just fly there.
July 1st.
That's July 1st, Saturday, July 1st. Then Omaha Funny Bone, 14th and 15th of July. Then Des Moines Funny Bone on the 28th, Kansas City on the 29th. Those are 2 shows. Those always sell out. So get tickets for those.
And new show's great. The Carrie Monsters, by the way, is probably, it's my, you know what it is? I was thinking about it. Zero Side Effects is great. Zero Side Effects kind of goes all over the place with a thread through it. This show is literally every
I love this show.
freaking nightmare from a child, from my first memory to the last minute of my divorce.
If you love Norman Rockwell is Bleeding, especially, which everyone does that has seen it, this is like that 2.0. It's like all the things that he didn't think he could talk about then, or he wasn't
Good
emotionally ready,
Yeah.
and he wasn't as good of a comic even as he is now. So now he can pull things off. So this is like, if you liked that one, this is next level. Norman Rockwell is Bleeding, the rest of the story, I think.
I progressed to a place where I can make suicide, get a laugh off of suicide.
We also have Louisville is going to be going on sale soon. We haven't been there in forever, but Center Stage Atlanta just went on sale for October. What else? Knoxville Bijou Theater.
Yep.
Minneapolis is on sale for our last weekend of the year before Christmas. So you can go to his website, ChristopherTitus.com/tour, and see all these.
Also, I'm touring with the amazing Rachel Bradley.
She's awesome. I've seen her.
You're making cancer funny. I don't know. Look, we all go. There's a lot of stuff we're all going to go through in life. I did my show's about tragedy. Her show's about taking her
Tragedy.
Mom. Tragedy. What'd I say?
How did it?
Oh. I guess it's weird. It's when I talk about myself, I speed up because I want to get through it like I shouldn't be talking about. Her show is about this journey with her mother through one of the worst experiences, and we're all going to go through bad experiences. It is so funny and so insightful. I cannot tell you. So when we do the theaters, you're really not just seeing me. You're seeing 2 really amazing shows. Thanks for coming out, people.
Also, this article,
No, by the way, I want to put it. Nils Lofgren. Get Nils Lofgren's new album. Man,
yeah, it's awesome.
Man, is
Carteret County, where my grandma lived, a magazine came out today, and it was top 100 role models, and she was on the list.
Oh,
yeah. Somebody sent it to me
Grandma
today.
Jean.
Yeah, Grandma Jean made the list for a role model in Carteret County, but I told him she probably has been on it before, just never mentioned it.
Of course.
That would be Grandma.
Yeah,
so I thought that was super sweet.
That's cool.
And we're not going to, you go for that role model. Do me a favor, go see our shows because we're awesome.
Hey.
There you go. Grandma never would have said that.
No, exactly.
Guys, to everybody in a submarine, hey, we hope you're okay.
No,
hope you have enough
they can't
oxygen.
hear
Hope
you.
you make it to the surface. To everyone jumping out of an airplane, wear a parachute. For God's sakes, you're not Travis Pastrana. Deal with it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Go to Christopher Titus TV. We have so much content. It's crazy. It's all funny. It's all good. Go see Zero Side Effects. It's on a YouTube channel now for a year. We made people, you had to get it. You want to see it. We're going to be putting up all the other specials that if you don't want to see them with commercials, they'll be available for a couple of bucks.
And there's going to be a few of them that we're upscaling into 4K
Yep.
that have never been released in 4K. So that's
Right.
cool.
Thanks, AI.
Yeah, right.
So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Please go to ChristopherTitus.com for any t-shirts. We have a new t-shirt coming out for the Carrying Monsters tour. And thank you so much, guys. We have a podcast, and we only have a podcast because of you guys. For myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray. Oh, right. Sorry. And now, what is it time for?
Fun facts.
Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts. It's Highlanders
Fun Facts. I had to take the lead. This time.
I was searching, so you heard it. And you're
That
like,
last note. We weren't on the same page there. Do it again. Say fun facts at the end.
Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts. It's Highlanders Fun
Facts. That was much better.
Record it.
Let's see. What do we want to say now?
No paper today.
Let's see.
I thought maybe I should go more modern.
Do you have
All right.
anything about submersibles?
Yes,
Oh,
actually
wow.
I do.
Okay.
All right. Submarines are based on ancient fascinations. Both Aristotle and Alexander the Great recorded early interest in man working underwater. Drawings and diagrams dating back centuries show that submarining has always been a dream of humanity's. And now it's a nightmare.
I was going to say, and now it's not so much of it. It's a Stephen King a dream at this point. Wow. So that's interesting, man. So they did drawings. I wonder if Da Vinci, I bet you did a drawing.
Nature always wins, by the way.
Right.
Man can be fascinated by it, but you shouldn't tempt fate because
we're not
it
in
always
charge.
wins.
Yeah.
No,
we're not in charge at any moment. As climate change is showing us,
tornadoes,
yes, we're not in charge.
Earthquake. Yeah, no.
And those drawings had like the Kraken.
It's a claw hanging over it. Okay,
dogs with 3 heads, or
they have like an anti-Kraken device in the submarine. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to wrap it up now. For myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray, and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There can be only one.
We have a podcast.
Should we finish with the Titanic theme?
Titanic.
Yeah, definitely. I'm king of the world.